Hello everyone, my name is RV Paundin. Now, I'll continue explaining the remaining figure of speech in poetry. And I'll dive a little deeper into how each one works, along with examples and poems with authors. Now, let's begin. First, we have assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds in every words. It helps create rhythm and makes a line sounds more musical. For example, to the repeating sounds in Tracy K. Smith, Flores Woman, that is the title of the poem, tracks, listen carefully, tracks follow heavy beats, back to where they huddle heard. Now you can hear the repeated A and E sounds. Poets use assonance to control how lines flows, like waves or footstep or even breathing. Now that is assonance. Next is irony. Irony happens when the meaning is the opposite of what is said or shown. Now it creates surprise, different emotional impact, or sometimes a lesson. Now, a powerful example is from the poem Richard Cory. That is the title of the poem by Edwin Arlington Robinson. Now, Richard Cory is admired by everyone, described as wealthy, handsome, and seemingly perfect. Now, but in the end, he takes his own life. Now, this teaches us that happiness isn't always found in appearance or wealth, and this unexpected contrast is what makes the person ironic, because he takes his own life not because of money, but because maybe the character is depressed. Now next is we have sine doce. Sine doce is when a part represent the whole, or sometimes the whole represent a part. Now for example is when someone says all hands on deck. Now all hands on deck, they don't mean actual hands, they mean people. Now, for example, in a poem, in the Rime of Ancient Marines by Samuel Coleridge, the line in the line of the poem is the western wave was all aflame. Now, it uses wave to refer to the entire ocean. So, Synodece helps poets make their imagery short, more poetic, and symbolic. That is synodoce. Now next is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia, these words are words that imitate the sounds they describe. Words like buzz, cracks, boom, hiss, or splash. Now for example of this is in Emily Dickinson. Now, I heard a fly buzz when I die. Now, the word buzz make readers hear the fly just through text, because when he said when I die, so when you die, fly go through dead people, so the sounds of I buzz makes the onomatopoeia add sounds affect to affect the poetry, making the experience more vivid and realistic. That's how the dead makes the sounds of onomatopoeia. Now, let's move to apostrophe. Apostrophe is when the poet speaks to someone who is not present, someone dead, an object, an idea, or even a feelings. It often shows strong emotion, sadness, sadness, and longing. Now, for example, is in What Whitman's O Captain by Captain. He directly addressed a captain who has died. This divide helps poets express feeling that ordinary conversation can show. Now, the last part is, and finally, we have circumlocution. Now, circumlocution means using many words to say something simple. It's like talking in order. Poet uses this to show strong emotion, conflict, or dramatic expression. In the Sonnet 14, this is the example of poem, by John Donne, was long and intense was lines to describe his spiritual struggles. Better my heart, three personal God. That is one of the line of the Sonnet 14. He could have said it simply or simple, but the long dramatic phrasing shows how deep an emotional the moment is. Circumvolution showed the reader down, making them feel the weight of the idea. So these are the remaining figure of speech used in poetry. Each one, assonance, irony, synecdoche, onomatopoeia, apostrophe, and circumvolution helps feel express deeper meaning, create rhythm, and bring their words to life. That's all, everyone. Thank you for listening. I hope this helps you understand these poetic choices better. End of my report.